Oi boys, welcome to another Rugby Challenge 4 video. And I've got to say man, I've been itching to play the game, but I wanted to wait until the release build was going to come out, and that comes out in a few days. And thankfully, if you've already bought the game, you get the update early, which is the footage that I've captured for you boys today. And before we jump into the match, there is a nice little change they've made, and that's the ability to change the attributes of the licensed players, I believe it is. As I do have an example here with Jordie Barrett, you can change the player stats and their accessories, so that's cool, I guess. They did add the SCG and they did add the New South Wales Waratahs. Again, great additions to the game, but you know, after 3 months, you'd expect more features being added to the game, especially if it's going to be the release build. All of that's fine and dandy, but what I'm really looking forward to is the changes to gameplay, and I'll give you guys my first impressions just of the things that I've noticed, and then later on, I'll read through the detailed patch notes. So off the top, one thing that I really liked that they finally fixed. It's not to do with gameplay, but as you can tell by the time of day setting, they finally fixed the live, is it weather cycle or light cycle? I can't remember, but we are playing in the evening, and just watch as the game transitions to night. It's so sick. It's a small detail, but man, I've missed this setting. Some other things I've noticed before actually playing is the load time was a little quicker, and the frame rate seems pretty stable. Well, to me it feels much better, faster and more responsive than it has in the past. Mind you, I think I did play a game before the patch. Like, I had a little sesh just the night before after I was playing some Rugby League Live 4. And I've got to be honest, I did not have a good time. I was just having one of those bad games where there was way too many knock-ons, way too many high tackles. But after a couple of games on this new update, I enjoyed my experience. I'll be honest, man. There weren't many odd knock-ons, there weren't many high tackles. My primary focus was to test the passing, the kicking, and gameplay with the forward pack, and I feel like there's some subtle changes throughout the categories mentioned. So starting with the passing, short passing in particular feels a lot more smoother, a lot more responsive, I'd say. Before, if you were trying to pass down the line, you'd get the old bullet cutout pass, which was annoying, but now you don't get the random cutout passes. You really have to hold down the pass button to trigger those wide balls, which is great. It's great to see. I'm not sure if responsive is the word. I guess more refined is the passing game. Now onto the kicking. I'm not sure if this is a change because I've been on Rugby League Live 4 a lot, but it feels like the general play kicking has been sped up also, and the distance. I feel like there's a bit more distance added to punt kicks. The kicking in general does still feel a little overpowered, especially with slow motion being a thing. I get why slow motion's in the game, but I reckon they should nerf the distance of punt kicks in particular. The last thing I've noticed in general gameplay is the forward play and the usage of pods. So in the past, pods weren't really a viable tactic in attack, but they've now added a little depth to the pods, and the big boys are finally running onto the ball. And with the improvements to the short passing game, I felt passing between the forwards is really satisfying if you can create a line break out of that. And that's basically all I've noticed with this update. Alright, now onto the actual list, which can be found at www.wickedsports.com.au. That is the forum for, it's pretty much the hub for Wicked Witches games, where you can get in touch, give feedback on their games and whatnot. But yeah, let's go through this list real quick. First up, a new team edition of the New South Wales Waratahs. We already talked about that. New ability to edit each star player's attributes and accessories. Kits can now be uploaded to FanHub along with your team. Okay, that's pretty cool. Adjusted height of default sideline camera. I might have to get gameplay with that. Decreased chance of forward passes. That is pretty noticeable. Passes are more successful to your closest support player. Okay, that's what we mentioned. Lessen the distance of the skip. Also, yep, we mentioned that already. Pod formations, mentioned that. Adjusted weather, we've mentioned that. Change the opposition team's reaction to spammed rubber kicks. That's interesting. Increased whitelist of players' names seen as offensive language. Newly added SCG Stadium. Support for up to 8 consoles and online for PlayStation and Xbox One. Improved stabilities in online matches. Adjusted mnemonic names for, I guess, those French teams. Is that what that is? French or South African teams. Improved stability with custom competition functionality. Improved disconnect and reconnection of controller stability. French competition branding changes. Okay, so they've updated the French comp. Hopefully we see that in the Super Rugby. Autosave feature implemented on competition, career and beer pro modes. Oh, nice. That's a good feature that should have been in the game already. Connection meter implemented into online modes. Improved online performance and improved switch performance. So a lot of improvements to online. I might play some online matches. I could barely find a game, or well, I couldn't find a game last time, and when I did, it was pretty unplayable. So we pretty much covered the gameplay improvements. There was no mention of changes to kicking. Man, I felt like that there were changes made. If you have the game out there, let me know if you feel the same. I think it's an improvement on the last. I'm still not too sure how I feel about the speed of play. Man, it's tough because I don't want to be too harsh on these guys. We don't know the situation. They could possibly still be developing from home, which you'd think would be slowing down development on the game. There's still a lot to do, especially with career mode, and at this rate, who knows when we'll get the final end product or the intended end product from Wicked Witch. Now, what a lot of you are probably asking is it worth retail price? And honestly, there's plenty of videos on the internet to help make up your mind. For me, I'm biased and I'd buy any rugby or rugby league game that comes out, so that's where I'm at with it. A few games that I did play, I did enjoy, and I think Wicked Witch is slowly making progress, but it feels like it's at a snail's pace. I can see the general public being pretty dissatisfied. I'm a little dissatisfied, if I'm honest. It's been, I think, 3 months or almost 3 months since the last update, and yeah, it just feels like there's still so much to do. Like add in the Mitre 10 Cup, that's probably been the most requested, and also sorting out the Super Rugby competition. In terms of a to-do list, those are probably pretty far down. Like they said, they are focusing on gameplay, which I admire and am appreciative of. Now, don't hold me to this, but there could possibly be a big content update coming in the new year when the Super Rugby kicks off again. In terms of licenses, I'd really like to see them go after Argentina, but that's a topic for another video. Where I'm at with this update, I'm enjoying it. I need to play a few more games, and I'm not too sure if I will start a new career mode series, as I don't think changes have been made to career mode, which we still have that to look forward to. There's still improvements to career mode to come. Hopefully we get to see that sooner rather than later, and it's hopefully it's not in a few months time. Whenever they do update though, you can expect a video from me going through what I feel they've changed and going through the actual patch notes and whatnot. I'm glad that there's a community actively on the forums giving suggestions in that. I've also made lists of improvements but never bothered to upload them because they've already been covered on the forums. I'll leave a link to the forums in the comment section. I'll pin it, but that'll be it for the video, boys. I'll let the gameplay play out so you can judge the changes for yourself if you like them, if you're going to pick up the game or not. But yeah, if you want to see more rugby content or more content in general, be sure to run it straight at that like button. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later.
That's my team. Loyalty over everything. That's my team. That's my team. From the bottom where we grinding. That's my team. That's my team. To the top where we shining. That's my team.